Our top story tonight on Gravitas focuses on the Russia-Ukraine war. Both sides are ramping up efforts to gain the upper hand just days before U.S. President-elect Donald Trump assumes office, promising to reshape the dynamics with potential ceasefire talks. Moscow, meanwhile, has said it is ready to quote-unquote study Trump's ideas for ending the war once he takes office. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, on Tuesday, Ukrainian forces launched a series of drone strikes deep into Russian territory. As per reports, dozens of drones hit many cities across Russia, including Kazan, Bryansk, Tula, Saratov, Penza, located far from the front line, including Ulyanovsk. The strikes reportedly caused widespread destruction, with fires engulfing gas storage facilities, oil refineries, oil depots, and industrial sites critical to Russia's military infrastructure. One of the most significant targets was the Orgsynthes plant in Kazan, a vital cog in Russia's military-industrial complex. And another key hit was the city of Engels, home to an airbase housing Russia's nuclear-capable bombers. In the Saratov region, 2 industrial sites were also severely damaged. Videos on social media, in fact, showed large flames and smoke emerging at the Saratov oil refinery. These attacks have reportedly disrupted daily life, closing schools and grounding flights at major airports. Meanwhile, in the energy-rich region of Tatarstan, a drone hit a chemical plant in Kazan. Videos on social media showed a large fire and plumes of thick black smoke emitting from the plant. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Air Force has said that its air defense systems downed 58 Iranian-designed drones launched by Russia, while another 21 were destroyed with electronic interference systems, or they simply crashed. Ukraine officials confirmed that the drone strikes were aimed to cripple Russia's military and energy infrastructure. Kiev described its actions as retaliation for relentless Russian bombardment of Ukrainian cities. However, this tit for tat raises a critical question. Is this escalation bringing peace closer or pushing it further away? Meanwhile, on the ground, the fighting intensifies in the eastern Donetsk region. The city of Pokrovsk, a key logistics hub, remains a focal point of the conflict. Ukrainian officials have reportedly urged remaining residents to evacuate as Russian forces encircle the area. Once home to 60,000 people, Pokrovsk is reportedly caught in relentless crossfire. And as per reports, Russia appears to be shifting its tactics. Instead of direct assaults on Pokrovsk, they are targeting supply routes to the city. Ukrainian military sources report heavy shelling along highways connecting Pokrovsk to Dnipro, a central Ukrainian city. In response, Ukraine has halted production at a critical coking coal mine in Pokrovsk, which is vital to its steel industry. Russian troops have also reportedly advanced near Chasiv and 7 other settlements. Chasiv is a key strategic target for Russia. This back-and-forth escalation underscores the high stakes of a war that at present shows no signs of slowing down. And then there is U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. As he prepares to take office next week, his rhetoric about brokering peace has sparked both hope and skepticism. Trump has promised direct negotiations with Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky, calling the war, quote-unquote, a bloody mess that must end. In a recent interview, Trump said he would like to meet Putin very quickly, but without giving a definite timeline. Trump's approach, after all, could mark a dramatic shift in U.S. involvement. But will it lead to tangible results is the immediate question. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday that Moscow was ready to study Trump's ideas for ending the war once he takes office. In a press conference, Lavrov said that Russia welcomed the fact that the incoming Trump administration had, quote-unquote, started to mention the realities on the ground more often. Listen in.
President Trump said that Putin wanted to meet, and I think we should meet. But first, there is a need for Trump to take office as the new US president. That is it. Everything that has been discussed over the past year has several aspects. First of all, the fact that people have started mentioning the realities on the ground more often probably deserves to be welcomed.
Donald Trump's impending inauguration introduces a new dynamic to the war. Will his promised negotiations lead to a breakthrough? Or will they add another layer of complexity to an already tangled conflict? As we stand on the edge of a potential turning point, the stakes could not be higher. And for now, one thing is absolutely clear. Neither side is showing any signs of stepping back. Germany has ordered its armed forces to shoot down unidentified drones suspected of spying over military bases, industrial facilities and other critical infrastructure. As per German media reports, the German cabinet is expected to pass a draft amendment to the Aviation Security Act to enable the military to use force against unmanned aerial vehicles. Previously, authorities relied on signal jammers to disable drones. The report added that German Interior Minister Nancy Faeser and Defense Minister Boris Pistorius have agreed on the measures after drones were spotted in restricted airspace near energy, telecommunications, transport and industrial facilities. This comes after German police said on Monday they were investigating recent drone sightings over 2 military facilities. Germany is on high alert for espionage due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the police have said they were probing into several incidents in which drones have flown over German military installations. On Sunday, police spotted at least 10 unmanned aerial vehicles flying in a secured military zone in Manching that houses the Eurofighter jets. On December 19, 3 drones were spotted over a military air base in another town. Russia is not the only challenge that the NATO is facing. US President-elect Donald Trump's threats to take control of Greenland are also causing a lot of concern for the NATO. In fact, Trump's allies are preparing a bill to facilitate America's buying of Greenland. What do Trump's threats mean for the NATO and its defense? A lot, actually. Before we go on, first, let's just discuss this bill. Trump's Republican allies in the U.S. House of Representatives have introduced a draft legislation. It is aimed at authorizing negotiations for the U.S. to buy Greenland from Denmark. But you see, here's the kicker. Greenland's pro-independence leader has expressed that he is ready to talk. You heard that right. The bill is called Make Greenland Great Again Act. It was circulated on Monday by Representative Andy Ogles and supported by 10 co-sponsors. Would enable Trump to basically initiate talks with Denmark immediately after he steps into office. The bill states, and I'm quoting here, Congress hereby authorizes the President beginning at 12:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 20, 2025 to seek to enter into negotiations with the Kingdom of Denmark for the purchase of Greenland. Remember, Trump refused to rule out a military takeover as far as Greenland is concerned. Its Prime Minister has reiterated the country's goal of gaining independence from Denmark last week. Agere emphasized that the Greenlandic people do not want to be either Danish or American. He has also expressed readiness to talk with Trump, acknowledging that his refusal to rule out the use of force to acquire Greenland was serious. Remember, strategically, Greenland is very important for NATO. It is the world's largest island, with shores on the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. From the early 19th century to the 1950s, it was a territory under full control of Denmark. Currently, Greenland hosts a US military base and an early warning system for ballistic missiles. However, since Greenland is officially part of Denmark and therefore considered European territory, European leaders and the European Union have come to Denmark's aid. Both German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and a spokesperson for the European Commission, in fact, have emphasized the importance of state sovereignty as the foundation of international law. It applies equally to both large and small countries, after all. While highlighting state sovereignty, and European leaders have criticized Trump's stance, not everyone is taking his threats somewhat seriously. In fact, in her response, the EU Commission spokesperson Paula Pinho said that Article 42.7 of the European Union's Lisbon Treaty, which is about mutual defense, applies to Greenland. Additionally, it's important to remember that Greenland is also covered by the North Atlantic Treaty, or NATO, meaning that an attack on Greenland would necessitate a response from other NATO allies, including the US, to come to its defense.